it's me, Chelsea, your DM storyteller and overall, creative weirdo. I'm here today with a couple of my players from my D&D campaigns. I have Duck, Natassia, Kai, as well as Sam, which is super, super fun. They are part of different campaigns. Natassia is part of both of them. So you guys are going to hear things from the Champions campaign as well as the Fairy campaign. And then we're going to be talking about my worst in my... I don't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about me as a DM. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. All right, well, first off, we are actually going to be watching a recording I did for a scrying moment that one of our characters has portrayed, well, seen, that I'm portraying for them. Only because when I did the recording did not get this beautiful voice that you see right here, unfortunately. But we're going to listen to that first, but everyone can say hi. If you guys all want to say hi, go right on ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
All right. Hello. Yes. So we have, of course, Sam, Kai, Duck, and Natassia, which you guys know Natassia because she did my Dice podcast prior. But I'm going to let you guys react to this magnificent thing that's going to happen here. And I know, Kai, you just watched this, so this is not going to be new for you.
I did.
But,
No, but I'm still going to react viciously.
Technically, it's not going to be new for any of you guys. Sorry in advance, because you're going to have to listen to me ramble in the beginning of this video, basically saying I'm going to try to do something, which I'm not now going to do. Okay? Okay. And play. Hey. It's me. Chelsea. Your DM. I fucked up just a little bit on a very late night session and made it so you can't hear me at all because I didn't have voice mod on. So, in order to try and remedy that just a little bit, I decided I am going to basically reenact some of these scrying things that may have happened. Now, I will, of course, put both of those videos together. However, it might not be the best because the timing's going to be different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take me here, hello, I'm gonna take this son of a bitch and I'm gonna overlay it in the spot where my face is. I'm gonna try and reenact it in the way that I think it was done. I don't quite remember because not all of us remember our performances. Okay. This is why I record things and then have my computer fuck me over. But so I am going to do the first scry. Gotta get into the zone. End scene. Gotta have that big breath, you know. You slowly sink your head into the scrying pool. Focus. Slowly open your eyes and look around. Your focus was on blue. However, looking around, you're not hearing very much. Then you hear a little bit of a shift off to the side. And heavy breathing. You keep moving forward towards that location. You can almost feel in the pit of your stomach the beating of your heart. Something's not right. And that's when you see him. A figure crouched over to the side, shaking, breathing deeply. And as your eyes adjust, the little light that is through the cell door allows you to see a crumpled looking visage of blue. Their hand covering their face a little bit. Tear stains left on their cheeks. Bruises forming on different parts of their body that you
Hello?
can kind of see and make out. He's broken, beaten, and in this disgusting place. You hear the footsteps of someone walking closer and closer and closer. And then you hear a door open as light shines through, illuminating the dark, cold cell of which this noble now resides. You shift as the scrying pool, unfortunately, can't see all of the gentlemen that walks in, but you can tell by their stance and how they hold themselves. They're in a powerful position, looking over this weak, defenseless man. You see them crack their own knuckles as they approach. Their skin dark in color. Possibly drow. And as they continue walking over, you watch as they kneel down next to Blue and force their chin up to look at him. His eyes staring blankly in front of him. His expression lost and broken. He had been betrayed, taken advantage, and now he's here. He made a terrible mistake. And he's staring at the individual that did it to him. Did you really think? Did you really think I could love a noble like you from Phelan? You're such an idiot. Too easily swayed. The best bait I could possibly ask for. Especially to get me close to those two. They'll come running once they find what I'm going to send to them. Then everything will be in order. Isn't that great? You watch as the hand of the drow pushes Blue's head away from him, smacking his head against the wall next to him as he lets out a low breath. And as he slowly looks up at this individual, you watch as a little bit of blood trickles down from his forehead. Anger, frustration, all of it's in his eyes. However, from a distance, you hear another set of steps. And you can't help but find this noise almost that of high heels as they grow closer and closer. You turn your head and look back to the door, the light streaming in, only giving you a silhouette of this feminine creature. How is our little piece of meat doing? You watch as the hand of this woman grazes across her lips, and you can see almost for a moment a flicker of her lip curve into a smirk. Just imagine, with him this might be easier. Isn't that right? Master is quite pleased with us. Enough to lure both of them in. Can you imagine? You feel yourself boiling with anger. Your eyes quickly darting over to the crumpled form of Blue against the wall. Chains behind their back. And their expression. Their broken expression. You watch as the two figures say a few more things under their breath to one another. However, can't quite make out what they're saying. It seems almost too much before you're pulled back to reality. The water dripping down from your face. Blue is tricked. Fell in love with someone behind enemy lines, only for have them betray them. But now they're looking to get two others to them. But which ones? And how long are they going to keep him alive? So that, my dears, sure many of you guys were upset when that happened, because that was absolute giddiness and happiness for me. How are you guys reacting right now to what you guys just learned?
I feel like upset is an understatement here. I'm furious, first of all.
Yep.
Are you asking us in the point of view of our characters on how they're feeling, or how we're feeling as players?
In general. In general.
Because you know me, and you know that I love the angst and the give me every sort of intensity, intense plot twists, give it all to me. So I personally like it. But do I want Blue to get hurt? No, I don't. But also, angst, so give it to me. Somnia, on the other hand, not entirely. I mean, she doesn't really know Blue, obviously, but she did kind of pick up on his importance to the group. So I feel like, because she's such a kind-hearted soul that, you know, cares about everyone around her, basically, she understands his importance to everybody, and because of that, she's not too happy that he could, you know, potentially be dying.
Yeah, just to add some extra flavor. And welcome, Emma. You came a
Hello.
little bit later than everyone else, but Emma is part of the Fairy group as well, which that whole sequence is from. So, of course, ta-da, hello, welcome.
Hi.
Yeah. Duck, how you
Yes.
doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I I have not stopped thinking about this since it happened. Like I'm just constantly just like fuck. Because like Rye and Blue have that like tense, strained relationship because they see each other as rivals for some reason, even though they could be much better off as partners. And it's like he wants to save him because he knows Comet loves him and he's really important and he's a good person, but at the same time, it's like, fuck this guy. He's kind of mean.
I love that.
He's not gonna let anyone stay trapped though, so.
Yeah.
Save him.
True. It's funny because the reason this happened is because roles that you guys actually did. That Comet did too. That proceeded for this to actually happen. So.
Like him getting kidnapped or?
Him getting beaten. He was going to get kidnapped regardless in one way or another unless you guys were able to convince him to stay with your group longer. But yeah. Fun
I don't think there was ever going to be a way to convince him to stay.
It would
There
have
probably
been,
was, but
there was a few options to say a final goodbye to his sister officially, because at this he didn't actually give her a goodbye. He just fucking left.
oh dear.
I feel like it would have been easier to convince him to let them
Just
don't
saying,
need to wait.
Insomnia got a goodbye. The one who he didn't know that well is one
Or didn't even like.
The one he's sus about. But she was the only one that saw him. So he went, okay, here's this, give it to everyone else. Because he was going to leave it with some, like, the front desk lady to be like, give this to the group later. And then dip out.
Yeah, he just kind of, he wanted to leave Phelan behind. You know, there was nothing here for him. So he wanted to, move on to Pedonia in hopes of, better life, finally getting to be who he truly is, and then to just get stabbed in the back. That's just, that sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah, it really does.
Tragic.
All right. Well, Sam, you're not part of the Fairy group. I don't know if you're around right now, but you're part of Champions. And recently, there's some stuff that happened in Champions that was super fun.
Some.
Lots of fun shit on that side. Care to explain the recent trauma your character went through? And if you want to tell me who your character is and the race and class as well, so everyone knows who you're kind of talking about.
Alright, so my character's named Noctis. He is a warlock, tiefling, / vampire.
Yes.
I feel like he's gone through a lot of trauma recently.
he torn to shreds and packed shit, going to Obscura, almost losing. You were really close to losing your memory of Asa, and that would have been a whole nother bag of beans.
God, I know. I know.
Yeah. Which would have been heartbreaking because they are my OTP right now. And they're not even an official character couple yet. Yet. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what kind of roles Oss is able to do. So, a lot of people don't know that when I have romantic interests for people, I have what I like to call confidence roles to see if they'll actually, like, flirt or if they will actually, like, engage in such, like, kind of progression with the other character, and Asa has been known to roll very, very low. And whew, and that's like hand holding, that's like going up and like there was one time he assisted Noctis in tying their corset, like getting them ready for like the day, like dressing them. It was hot.
Was that that night that you showed me that he rolled like all really high courage rolls?
Yeah,
Yes.
he rolled
Okay.
really, really high courage rolls. So
Like
if
the only time.
so when I roll for specific people, if their personality is normally like cocky, this is gonna see if they're gonna be more soft or sensual and like that kind of thing. If they are more shy, like Asa is, it will see if they're actually able to get their confidence to, you know, do something. Which is always a fun little thing, too. Any fun fact about Noctis you want to give me, Sam?
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Fun fact about Noctis.
Define fun fact.
I find that his how do you pronounce it? Vitiglio?
Vitiligo.
Vitiligo! It on the face is in the shape of a skull. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Really
Yeah,
cool
like-
character design.
It's like half a skull, and
Mhm.
then he's got like half a rib cage, and some other bones on his body.
I love that. I think that's a pretty cool fun fact. I can never pronounce words right, but that's just me.
It's
It's okay. We all have our faults. You can't
I
be
know.
perfect.
I mean. All right. So fun fact, Sam? Anything? No? Fun fact, they are basically a witch and have fly on a broom. Like,
Isn't he left-handed?
Suddenly forgot everything about myself. He is left-handed. Yeah.
who is my character?
I don't.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, you can always come back to me, you know. It's fine. Let's go with Kai. Kai, hello, darling, sweetheart.
Hello.
Hello. What's the name of your character? What race are they? And what class are they?
Well, my character is called Karakir. They are a tiefling, and they are also a monk.
Yeah, fighting monk gonna
Mhm.
uppercut someone, and I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Now, were you thinking of multi-classing your Karakir?
I was, yeah. I'm thinking about multi-classing into druid because I feel like that would just add a little bit of spice, a little bit of flavor.
A little bit of flavor. Beautiful.
Oh.
I do know that you're gonna have to get your wisdom higher, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I was looking at your upgrading of your character, and you need to have a wisdom of 13 before you're able to basically multi-class.
Which is why I haven't been like, hey, Chelsea, I'm going to start multi-classing now.
Yeah. But, fun fact, when you play with me, and if you are a monk, and you decide to multi-class, I will then allow you to cast spells that require touch as a bonus action. So you can punch and do a spell at the same time.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, but just imagine like a punch and then fire.
Yep.
Mwah, perfect.
Or electricity. Think about that. Like just a full
was
out
thinking about that.
electric shock.
You know what? That would so work with Karakir, considering they've been struck by lightning about 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah. This is true. A fun fact about Karakir.
A fun fact, they are very, very, very in love with their wife.
Yes, their wife. And I love their wife too. I have made their character sheet. It is official, so they can participate if they wake up from the curse.
They will. I'm going to make it happen.
It is going to happen. And now, Karkir's wife, Alyssa, is currently under a sleeping curse, kind of like Sleeping Beauty, or Snow White, or what's another princess that went into a sleeping curse? I think it's just those two.
You are
Snow White is
asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I think it's just those two. I feel like there's others, probably in different lore, but those are the only two that I can think of right now. But they are under a sleeping curse right now. So they are possibly in danger. And currently, Karakir was given an ultimatum by the Lucid Clave.
Yes,
And
those bunch of bastards.
The bunch of bastards. And what was the, what was it, Kai? What was the ultimatum?
Well, you see, the ultimatum was either I give up our dear companion, Santa, or I save my wife.
So,
the answer to that was an obvious no.
That was
just an all-round no.
Oh, fuck you! Go away!
So then the ultimatum was either I give them Santa by the end of the month, or they kill my wife.
So you guys have 30 days, or 31 if I'm being generous, to figure
It'll
out...
completely depend on your mood.
To figure out how to get all the things that you need to get to your wife. But now you guys got sent to the opposite side of a ferry from where you need to be to go get your wife. And you have to gather all this fun ingredients, one of which is dragon's blood, specifically a silver dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thrilled, as you can tell.
It's all fun. It's all fun. It's all great stuff, you know? But, you know, it's fine. But, speaking of Thana and having that ultimatum between your wife and our lovely, other player, Thana is portrayed by Emma. Emma, we know Thana, but what was she called before we knew her official name?
Her original name was, she went by Iola Elian. That was sort of her fake name to hide from the Lucid Clave. Well, she didn't realize it was the Lucid Clave. At first, it was just her evil psycho fiance, who happens to be a member of the Lucid Clave. But yeah, you know, she's her identity was accidentally revealed right after Blue left, actually. So Blue just missed that big dramatic reveal.
So he technically still knows her as Iola. And what race and class is Iola? Well, Thana. It's still weird going back and forth.
I know, right? Thana, she is a human, and she is Pact of the Undying warlock. She basically made a deal. Well, I guess it really isn't a deal. She honestly, she kind of sold her soul to the goddess of death.
She made a pact.
Yeah.
She made a pact.
Whose worship is actually banned in 3 of the 4 countries in our campaign. In order to get away from this asshole.
So that's fun.
Makes things a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the only place that's safe for someone who likes Salkina, the goddess of death and the moon, basically, and rebirth and like being reborn, is Paidonia, which is fun. Hey. But yeah. She's pretty. She's a pretty lady. Just letting you guys know. Like, let me show you guys that photo that I have for her, because when I look at it, I'm just like, she's so pretty. She reminds me of Skotati, which is from our other campaign, who is the goddess of darkness, because they both have the white hair. But Selkina has a dress that basically drifts off into stars and into darkness. So you don't see like the bottom half of her body. But she's a pretty lady. She's pretty nice. Look at her. She loves stars.
She is very pretty.
Very pretty woman. But thinking of things that are very pretty, Duck, you want to talk about Rye?
Of course, I always.
So Rye, you're with the fairy campaign, obviously, with everyone basically except for Sam's character Noctis. What race and class are you?
Rye is a tiefling bard.
Yes.
He used to be a rogue, but now he's a bard because trauma.
As we do.
Guys, it fits him way better.
True, but you're gonna be going rogue again. Yep. We're gonna
Gotta stay in touch with your roots.
Yep, gotta get back in there, you know, because people are fucking shit up, especially for Rye, because they got told off by a mystery woman in their dream that they are basically a foolish son of a bitch.
How dare he take time to heal?
How dare you take time to heal after a very traumatic event in your life. In your life, Rye. How could you? But I am excited because we are in Wintry now, which is Rye's, like, home country. It's a little bit smaller than everyone else. I think of it as, like, our version of Australia.
That's fair. All right,
Yeah.
I can take that.
Yeah. But how do you suppose, like, Rye's emotional connection with his family is?
I feel like right now, specifically, it's really strained between him and everyone because he just kind of, like, up and left after Tallulah died. But him and his mom are obviously very close and they love each other, and I don't think anything can ever sever that. He loves her more than anything else in the world. That's his baby. But mom.
Well, yes, of course, you're always gonna be my baby no matter what.
Don't make me cry right now.
Oh, do you need a hug? I can definitely give you a big hug right here. My little fried dough.
Oh, I love her. I'm really excited to see him talk to his brother because I know they've got beef right now, and I want them to talk it out.
Yeah, he's like the angsty teen brother that's like, you fucking left, you bitch. Like, come at me.
That's like exactly how mine and my brother's relationship is right now, because I left and he's like, are you ever coming home? And I'm like, no.
Nope, never coming back. And then there's your dad, who's, in my brain, your dad's a little bit of a dope.
Yeah.
He's a little bit like a straight edge dum-dum, but like, your mom loves him.
Himbo.
So much.
Where do you think Rye gets it from? How do you think Rye can point out the relationship between Somnia and Garen so well as if it doesn't mirror his own parents?
His parents. All right. Is there anything?
That's the reason.
Is there any fun fact about Rye? Do you think the world should know?
Other than the fact that he has 5 loots on him, canonically?
That still cracks me.
I don't
understand how you got 5 loots, but you have 5 loots in your person, and I'm like...
One for every occasion.
They're all like individual collectible items.
Yeah.
I picture them actually as being the exact same, except for one, which is the only one he plays.
Everything else is like expendable.
And then the other ones are just brown.
I'm waiting for the day that you're gonna use one of the loots and just use it to smash someone's head in. But you'll still have like
Please.
4 others, so you're fine. You're like, I got 3 more I can use. We're fine.
It's fine. 2 more because he has to give one away. As a
Yep.
Literally gonna be like Dandelion in The Witcher. or I guess, yes, depending on what you know him as, technically.
True, there's different
But
variations for his name. Oh, I love that, though. That's a great idea. And, of course, last but not least, Tasha, you have 2 characters because you're in both of my fucking campaigns.
I am, yeah.
So let's talk about your fairy character first. So we'll talk about Somnia.
Yes.
So Somnia,
Darling girl.
what she looks like, race, class.
Somnia is a moon elf. She is a cleric. And she has a good heart. She is a pure soul that everybody apparently would like to protect.
Especially
So, you know.
her cohort, whose name is Garen, and he's a big, tall boy.
Yes.
Who has
He's very brooding.
He's very broody. He's very broody. He's kind of like, in a lot of the movies, you have like the royal and they have like their lackey that just like doesn't say shit. But like when they do say stuff, like it means something. In my brain, he reminds me of the Hound a little bit from Game of Thrones, if the Hound wasn't like as ruthless.
Wait, you're right. You're right. I didn't think about that because I've only just started to watch Game of Thrones. I know I'm aware of how it ends, but you know.
Yeah. So that's my kind of gauge of what like Garen kind of is. Is like he's that extra like beef muscle. I mainly wanted him along because at the time we actually don't really have a tank. Garen is our tank and I play our tank.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately Karakir isn't that strong just yet because they can't do big huge punches. But they're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Garen
just wait for
Just
it.
wait. But I'm waiting for that they can like flank each other, you know? And get that extra. And it's gonna be so good.
Great. Yeah.
Garen can just pick Karakir up and just fucking like toss him like a
They'll
football.
be the tag team extra strong. Like, we'll be unstoppable at that point. Yes.
And then you, of course, have your other baby girl, which we have talked about on the podcast before in our Dice episode, and that is Ki, or Kilarian,
Yes.
in our Champions
Kilarian.
campaign.
Yes, she is my half-elf ranger. She is not as soft-hearted as Somnia is. She's very hot-headed and very emotional.
Yep.
She has a good heart. She has good intentions.
She's also very young.
She is, but I mean, Somnia is technically like human years. Somnia is like 21, and Ki is like 19. So there's not that much of an age difference between. I know that you can like mature a lot between that age and that age, obviously, but like, you know, they're both young.
In reality, Ki is so young. Ki is a baby compared to almost everyone else in that campaign, except for Carr, who is 16, and it still confuses me.
I guess apparently he's 16. Just found that out. I, for some reason, was picturing him being like at least 25.
Yeah,
but,
like, same.
So makes sense why him and Ki like clash all the time.
Clash of the Titans right there all the time.
Just
but
the
she
kings
and
of the group.
Noctis are like best friends now, so that's fun.
But what I find
Somehow.
fun is that so Ki and Noctis, they are basically our dynamic duo in that campaign.
Yes.
They have started, because Noctis was already questioning things at the very beginning, but like keeping it low key. But once Ki found some very specific information, she and Noctis blew the campaign fucking up.
Yeah, we did.
You guys escalated a lot of things really fast because you guys keep questioning, and we keep doing midnight sessions after our campaign.
You say that as if you don't, like...
Enjoy it? Oh, I do.
Enjoy it?
I do. I do enjoy that kind of shit.
Yes.
But you guys together, plus now Asa, is just
Asa
chaos.
has joined.
Yes. So
Asa is... I feel like Asa is the, logical standpoint between those three. For certain things, he's kind of the voice of reason between the two of them, because obviously the two of them are,
so you have a very stubborn girl and a chaotic tiefling, and then there's Asa.
And they're all in love. So,
they're a big happy family. They're a big happy family. It's fine.
It's a great time. They're all, so like, you got the Asa Noctis love story, which, that's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. And now we have this strange one. And now we have this strange one that's kind of like, Key and their childhood friend, maybe, and this other version of them.
Two versions of someone.
Two versions that she is inclined about.
She doesn't know what the fuck to do. Poor baby girl is just scared.
Yeah,
She's scared.
It's expected, because there's a lot of twists and turns. I'm excited to see, because believe me, those 17 tries are all variations that I've thought of. Doesn't mean you guys can't actually make an 18th, but I'm expecting you guys to do one of the 17. Unless you surprise me.
Fail.
Which
awesome.
surprised me.
That's not a good thing.
That means we're failing! Cool! That's great news!
Hey, you know what? Who says it if it's really a fail? It's just gonna be how you guys are gonna end it. We'll see.
Oh boy. It's ominous.
Your inner Key is going on fire right now.
She has an opinion on that.
Come at me, Key. I dare you.
Well, see, because we know what her main concern is, right? So her first thought is, if we're gonna end up on one of those 17, no, I will not allow that, because I'm trying to fucking prevent that.
We'll see how far you get, my dear. We'll see.
She has more to say.
Oh, I know she has more to say. All right, so now we're gonna get into something else. So you guys can, let's see. Duck. This is gonna be for you.
Hello.
What do you like about the current campaign so far?
I like a lot of it. I really like the party and how everyone interacts with each other, and like all the different dynamics between the PCs and the NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this like very particular way of describing things that's just like chef's kiss. It hits me very well. And it's not always like the important stuff, like when we have nightmares or when you're describing like a good scene. Like sometimes you'll just like describe like what we're looking at, and it's like vivid. Your DMing style fits very well with my ADHD brain.
Good. I'm glad that I'm being accommodating to
it's
that.
Just how you are.
I'm making these stories for you guys. You're just playing in the world that I made, but in the end, the story's for you. All right. Kai, what do you like about the current campaign?
I mean, what's not to like?
Anything
Just
in particular?
the way you've built up this world. The way you've built up this world is just fucking phenomenal. I haven't seen someone dedicate so much time and effort into creating a world like this before, and it's fantastic. And I love all the characters that you bring, and all the non-playable characters that you bring to the table and stuff. they're all so interesting. They all have these like their own intricate backstories. I love the way you've entwined like everything about our characters and the other characters like into the world itself. It's just so cool.
Aw, thanks.
And like what Duck said, it makes it so much easier for like my very short attention span to like focus and be like, yes, I can be in the moment and I can stay in character versus like some of the other like campaigns I've been in where it's like I can focus for 5 minutes and then my mind wanders and then I have to try and snap myself back. But there's just constantly something happening, even if it's not to my character. And it's just so good and it's so enjoyable. I've never enjoyed D&D as much as I have as with you.
Oh, thanks.
For
Sam.
DM, unable
Yeah.
to take compliments.
I mean, I feel like that's any DM though. We never can take compliments because we're always the hardest on ourselves. Sam, what do you like about the Champions campaign? I'd love to know because you are a longer time player than a few of my current players. You've played D&D for a little bit longer. If you're still there, that is, my dear, because I know that you're having internet issues.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Honestly, I really, really love the Champions. I've only had like one other DM before, so I don't have like a lot to compare to. But from what I've heard from other people, and then my experience with my previous DM, like you're amazing, and I really love the story and how you like bring everyone in and like how deep everything runs. It's crazy. Plus, because we used to do in-person sessions, we did like physical props and shit, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, I do miss that. I miss like hiding shit in the apartment and having you guys try to find it. And last but not least, Tasha. Likes about the current campaign, Fairy and Champions, please.
Okay, well, Fairy kind of, I agree with the other two that it's very much so, the group is just incredible, and I feel like all of our characters get along really, really well, actually, which, you know, isn't necessarily like a problem if they don't, because, you know, with Champions, our characters argue a lot, but it's good for characterization. Like, we're getting somewhere with it still, kind of. But with Fairy, I really, really, really like, just the fairy tale side of it, because like you know, I'm someone who really does like fantasy. So you do have D&D, which could be considered fantasy, but you're taking like a fairy tale idea with this one, and I really, really, really like that. And it's just super cool to see already your ways of weaving in fairy tales, like all of these massive fairy tale stories, and doing kind of like your own creative take on it is really, really cool, and it's really fun to witness and experience. And then obviously we know that I'm someone who prefers the role play as compared to the battle kind of a thing for the D&D player. That's the type of player that I am. So I definitely, for both campaigns, appreciate that I am given the chance to revisit my acting juices that I have not been able to have for like 5 years now. So it's been nice to be able to have with Samya, we haven't fully gotten emotional moments yet entirely, but with Key, you have full on made me cry multiple times now.
In the best of ways, not in the like the mean way.
Not, like, in the way where it's like it's natural, but it's great for the character. But also, I asked Chelsea one time to make me cry because I'd had a stressful week. I was like, I want to cry, make me cry. So she just gave me an emotional like moment, you know, that just like made me cry.
And that was the between Noelle and Key, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Noelle and Key, and then when Key talked to Asa and Noctis, that was literally just kind of like a side. It was something that was dedicated more to making your characters more in depth than it would be necessarily delving into the storyline of like finding clues to what's going on. And that's another thing that I really, really love about your campaigns is you kind of cater to what everybody wants.
Yeah.
So there are those who don't necessarily like to do the roleplay thing, or maybe they're nervous about it or whatever. You're not forcing them to do it. And then there are people who, like me, really, really love the roleplay side of things. So you give me side things just to satisfy that, I guess, you know, and it's really great. I love it.
Oh, good. Everyone, I would like to know any dislikes in the campaign that you would like to see, like, adjusted, or things that you're not quite sure on, just to help me as a DM if you feel like I'm missing something. Because I'll take criticism. I'll take it. It might make me sad for a moment, but I know it's in good heart. So if anyone has anything in their mind that are like, you could do better with this, because I know for sure that my battles are never amazing, because I am not a battle person, so I'm not a big fan of those myself.
I don't think there's anything that I can think of that you could really improve on right now.
Honestly,
I mean, I was missing from the campaign for a while, so...
Yeah.
I'm an overtly critical person. Like, I can always find something to pick on. But there's honestly not really anything in your campaign that, like, strikes me as, like, needs improving. Other than, like, maybe, like you said, your battle sequences aren't always the best. Just, like, a little more detail in them. Like, the way that you tell it like a story is happening. Instead of just, like, you hit them for 5 points. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But you still do it very well.
Okay. More explanations, writing down. Battles. More words.
It's a hard question for me to answer, only because you are literally my only experience with D&D. So I don't have anything outside of these two campaigns that I can necessarily compare to beyond watching something like Critical Role, for example. But, like, I literally...
It's also
I put you on the level of Critical Role.
Oh,
I put you
never
on that
put
level.
me on that. No, I
do.
am not as good as Matthew Mercer. Thank you.
Think about it though, because you don't have the budget that they have. But I feel like if you did have the budget that they have, like if you had the budget to create all of those like battle maps, if we could meet in person, like if like there's certain things about that obviously that make sense on why maybe it seems like more quality. But honestly, like genuinely, the storytelling and the way that you like the characterization depth, like Duck was saying, how many NPCs you have, and the fact that and you've told us all this, that you literally not only do you know what they're doing when they're with us, but you know what every single NPC is doing on the side, even if we haven't met them yet, even if we haven't come across them. If we've come across them once, like, you know where they are and what they're doing. That's incredible, because I feel like that keeps the story consistent, and it avoids the plot holes a little bit more. I feel like.
Do that more heavily with Fairy than Champions, because Champions a little bit weird. But I do that heavily with Fairy, because if I need to, you guys can split up, and I'll still know where those extra NPCs are. Or if I have another campaign that comes in and wants to play in the Fairy world, they could at the same time as you guys. So you guys... Interesting, right? Because my thought process was like, if I had another group and they do something in this world, it might affect the other group in some way. So it would be like a challenging kind of thing. But yeah, I just like...
Throw the champions in there.
Oh, God.
Don't do that.
Can you imagine? Jesus.
Oh, Skulk.
Actually, no, do that. I want to see Somnia and Key run into each other, and then
Oh
Tasha
my
have to
God.
figure out how those two interact
You
together.
know what?
I do kind of want to see that.
Oh, God. Maybe that will be a one-shot we'll do, guys.
Broke, because they're so different.
They are so different. They are vastly different. Well, there's certain things about them that are similar, but as far as how they act and carry themselves, very different.
Do you think
But
Key
hey-
would like the fairy group?
Key? No.
No, Key would want... I think Key, if anyone, would appreciate... Well, no, not even Garen. I don't even think she'd like Garen, because Garen follows orders, like, to a T.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would not be a fan.
She would not... The thing about Key is necessarily that she doesn't dislike people. I mean, she dislikes people easily, but the reason she and Noctis formed such a strong friendship was because they had that similar motive, and she started to recognize that, and that kind of it forced her to kind of start to develop this relationship with this person that she just got thrown on this adventure with.
Mm-hmm.
They hated each other at first. Well, she hated him at first. I don't know how Noctis fully felt about her.
He didn't really like her either.
Yeah, so like
He didn't hate her, but it was more like, damn, this child's a brat.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Even
Asa got a little bit offended.
They did not like each other at the beginning.
Yeah, no, they did not.
No, but the funny thing was, though, she was always kind of going the same route as him, even before I think she realized that their motives were similar, their drives were similar in certain ways. And now she's having issues with the other characters in the group, which I think are similar. I feel like the ones who, like Chang, for instance, or Car, they would probably do well with the fairy group. I feel like.
Yeah.
Mari you could throw anywhere, because Mari's a sweetheart. So
yeah.
Mari and Somnia and Thana, like all of them, they would get along so well.
You say that as if Somnia and Thana interact that much.
Well,
they really don't.
It's true.
They give off bestie vibes, but it's more like you see each other on Instagram every 6 months, and you're like, look at you, bestie, and then you never interact. That's Somnia and Thana's dynamic.
But Somnia hasn't fully interacted with anyone in the group that much, except for Garen. But like that's because it's Garen. This scrying thing that happened, like that was the first in-depth interaction that she's had with anyone with that group. So
well, get ready, because you've opened up to Rai a little bit, and now he's gonna berate you until you die.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You too.
And see that is where Somnia and Key are different, because Somnia does not she cares, but she's not necessarily like gonna snap at someone for berating her or interrogating her.
Yeah.
And then we have Key. If say Rai were to try to interrogate Key on stuff, we've seen how Key's like when the group interrogates Key. We've seen how that goes.
It's not very good. She had to be put in timeout by Noelle the other day.
Okay, but in her defense, the group was literally pointing fingers and throwing accusations her way that weren't really fair.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It was more so of a, come here, you need to calm down. Yeah, Sam?
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. You're like, and it's gone.
It was after I said, like, in her defense.
But back onto topic. Anything that you guys are excited about in your campaign, specifically for your characters? Sam, we'll start with yours. Is there anything you're excited about for Noctis?
Oh no, why does it gotta start with me?
Because you're the first one on the list that I have here.
Oh god. What am I excited about?
Yeah. What brings Noctis like, there's a possibility of joy.
Noctis feeling joy?
Noctis feeling joy? What? He is a chaotic motherfucker, but that's okay.
A sad chaotic.
Yeah, he's okay. Let's talk about Noctis for a moment.
Oh no.
So, Noctis did not have a very happy childhood. His mom's a whore, legitimately. She works in a whorehouse, and did not want Noctis at all, of which she said aloud in front of Noctis as a child. And then you have your father, who tried his best, but he just was never home. He's like the single father, but like always like has someone else raise the kid because he's like doing money stuff, but like underground mafia shit. And then you have Corinna, who, and
I love her.
yeah, I love Corinna too. And you have Corinna, who kind of raised you, and then you also have Lenora, who did raise you.
R.I.P. Lenora.
R.I.P. Lenora. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, some rolls happened and Lenora did not make it out. And I did roll to see if she would survive. And unfortunately,
No.
she did not make her death saving throws.
No, that hurts me even more.
Yeah. Yeah. She's also a very fucking old wolf lady thing. So, I understand. Plus, he's also dealing with some pact bullshit that's going a little bit bad. Because now he has a curse that could kill him and his dad if one or the other dies. And your dad's back in a bad place.
Yup.
And then you got your boyfriend, not boyfriend, who is risking their life every night.
Yup.
Yep. Noctis needs some happiness in their life. Oh, I almost feel bad now that I'm saying it out loud. I'm like, damn, I really did put a lot of shit onto Noctis. And then you got torn to shreds, so now your character has scars all over their body, like a cut-up chop thing. What's it called?
Like the little meat cut posters.
Yeah, the meat cut posters.
Very, very sexy. You know.
Hey.
He's trying to rock it.
There is a location of which those can be removed, so he can't get back to normal. But we'll see if you guys get there.
Oh boy.
Hey.
It's fine. He'll just rock his battle scars.
You know, he would though. With
He's still hot anyway.
With his sexy ass outfit, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Noctis with their like see-through bullshit that they wear.
Yep.
I want to see
Titties
Noctis
always.
in like a traditional garb, but I know he would never do it.
I mean, his disguise, he's got like the church outfit on.
Yeah, which is it's not him though. It's not him
Okay, but
whatsoever.
would he do it if like Asa asked him to do it?
Maybe.
Ooh.
If Asa's willing to wear leather for you, I think.
I'd love to see that though.
Oh,
only
he
fair.
just complete blush on the cheeks the entire time. In my brain, Asa's a soft dom.
Oh.
So he's like, okay, you can get away with shit now, but later, you'll pay. Oh boy, fun stuff. Let's go to Kai. Kai.
To me, yes.
Yeah, darling. So we're gonna go get your wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
What is your current suspect? Like, what do you think may or may not happen? What do you think is going on with Alyssa? Like, do you think something's happening with her? What do you think is going on with Karakir? What are your predictions for their future relationship and possibilities?
I do have a sinking suspicion that maybe Virgil has discovered Karakir's whereabouts. Virgil being the old best friend of Karakir.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm vaguely worried that Virgil has figured out that Karakir has gotten married in between the time that they ran away. And that even if we get to Alyssa in time, we may not be able to grab her because Virgil might be there.
It's a possibility. You never know.
But I think one of the things I'm most looking forward to, if we can save Alyssa, is the, like, just the sheer level of love and like comfort that's going to be going on between those two, and like the way that Karikir is going to like start opening up more, because there's going to be a lot less pressure on their shoulders.
Yeah, I feel like if Alyssa is finally able to join your guys' group as like a member for maybe a small amount of time, the interactions you and I will be able to have
Yes.
as a couple, as a married folk.
It's gonna be
It's
adorable.
gonna be a lovely little thing. I love that. I'm so excited. And then, do you have any curiosities about what she gave you?
I have a theory about it. Being that maybe Alyssa used to be one of the knights. Just an inkling. Just a feeling that I've got, considering the symbols that are on the inside of the wristband. And considering that her like backstory, so to speak, is that something unfortunate happened, and now that they are both together because they both had something unfortunate happen.
It's true.
Considering that she's also an elf, I feel like the timeline would make sense. Considering the last time one of the maidens was taken was around 50 years ago.
Something like that.
I have a feeling that maybe she's one of the knights, and that if we can get her up and about again, that she's going to be very helpful in our efforts to refine the maidens and kick bath salt's ass.
Yes. Bath salts, or as Alana likes to call him, bath farts.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So fun. I'm gonna switch over to Duck. Duck, darling, what are you excited about for Rai in general? Character progression, or maybe a plot point, or maybe something unknown. I know for sure you want to try and locate Nathaniel, which still makes me laugh. But is there anything else that is like coming to your brain?
I'm obviously like super excited for everyone to meet his family. I've been talking about it so much. I really just want everyone to meet Nettie, because everyone else has these like fucked up family dynamics, or at least the ones that talk about their family do. And Rai's just like, my mom's like super cool. My dad's dumb, but like he's cool too.
Yeah, my dad's pretty dope. My family's all pretty dope. Like, he's the another Critical Role reference. He's the caduceus of the group. They have a working family dynamic.
Sweet. That's how one of my old retired D&D characters, Moss, that's his AU family dynamic. In canon, he never had a family.
Oh, babies.
But I had to give him something nice.
I mean, sometimes it's good to have, like, make it the family, not the tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Anything that you're super excited other than the family thing?
I'm really excited to see how everyone starts to interact with each other now that we've all like been like, yeah, I'm traumatized. We opened the wound, and I think now that our characters have talked just slightly about their trauma in dream form, they might open up more, like if they have nightmares again, or if something bad happens. I want them to bond. I'm really excited for them to talk.
No, I get that too. How do you feel about song usage that is going to be playing a part in your guys' campaign? Stressed. Yeah, so there's songs that I have given you specifically that will be playing part for very interesting moments. And I'm excited to see how they play out, because I know a few that you don't have on your list completely yet, because I have a long list of ones that I've kind of stored away for other times. But you will know it, and then of course Elliot will know it separately as well. So that's gonna be a fun thing. Last but not least, Tasha.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Somnia first before we get into the craziness that is Kilarian.
Yes.
What do you think is something exciting that Somnia is looking forward to, or are you excited for Somnia to experience?
Well, I'm always excited for, again, this goes back to the I'm a horrible human and I like the angst. I am always excited for the angst moments. And that this is gonna make me sound so horrible. Jesus Christ. That makes me
I want to feel pain. Give me pain.
basically, like releasing my
Battery
own
50%.
like, anxieties into my own characters, being like, well, I'm anxious now, you are too. Like, no, like I honestly, of course, there is the like angsty things that I always look forward to because those are fun to play, and I have said for a while now that in my opinion, the angsty moments are really what progressed as a character. I think that that's what causes a lot of character growth, and so to me, I always look forward to the angsty moments. But as far as just like, you know, generic moments and everything, it's kind of the same thing that Doc just said, where it's the bonding. I think Somnia needs some friends. She likes to make herself seem like she's doing okay and that she's not, you know, that she likes to act like she's fine because she knows everyone else isn't fine.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, she's very sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of just, she needs some friends, and I think she's trying to get to that point with some of these people. Some of them have responded more than others, which, you know, is just how their characters are.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited to see that progression for her,
Mm-hmm.
and to see how that is going to affect certain things in the future.
Makes sense.
So, yes.
Awesome. And then let's go on to Key, because we all know Key is she's going through some shit. She can't
We
remember.
listed all of Noctis's angst.
Yeah.
Key's got like
Key. We talked about the parents thing, and well, Key has no family. They all died, and she blames herself. And oh my goodness. Basically, she got chosen for a job she didn't want. A long time kind of like rival crush, like enemies to lover kind of thing is happening with an old friend called Venri, and then she finds out Venri has another Venri that's running around their same timeline, and there's some mumbo jumbo happening with the god of death in him, and and that's not even the start of all that drama.
She forgot her mother now. She can't remember her mother.
Yep, her mom, the memory of her mother has been wiped from her memory.
And half of the group hates her, so that doesn't help either.
I think they just get, like, frustrated with them, because I feel like that group in particular needs to be told the same things over and over and over, and Key is definitely someone that does not like repeating themselves.
Yeah.
Which needs to happen a lot with that group.
Well, in her mind, she's like, we don't have time to sit here and constantly tell you the same stuff over and over and over again. I'm fucking sick of repeating myself.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need to listen to what I'm saying instead of just half listening.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have time for this. So, like, she's, of course, panicking because of that. But, you know, that's just some of the angst. As far as the excitement, in regards to the question, we have the angst, but also there's a couple, like, I don't know if it'll ever, like, actually happen, but I've talked with Sam, and I told you about this the other day, where I really want Noctis to teach Key how to flirt, because she does not know how to do that.
I know, so I saw your guys' conversation between you and Sam of Noctis teaching her how to flirt, and I live for that dynamic.
Needs to happen. It reminded me of that TikTok audio. I think it's from one of those the Jumanji with Jack Black and Karen Gillan, where like one of them is like teaching her how to flirt, was like talking about the hair is everything. So I sent the audio to Sam and I was like, this is how it would go. Literally. So like I want that to happen. There's like moments that I want to happen. I don't know if they will. It of course depends on the story that happens and choices, as you say. But also I'm really looking forward to Key and Juniper meeting.
Yes. So, quick note for the other people and our maybe audience. Hi. So we originally had another player who is in our champions game, but they left because unfortunately they were not able to keep showing up. They weren't very good with their attendance, and some other trouble with their character and characterization and other personal things. So they left, but that left their entire backstory, which is very integrated with the plot line, which left his sister, Juniper. So how I got rid of his character is his character died. His character is no longer an availability to come back, like he's just been scrubbed out. But that leaves Juniper. And she also lost her entire family. And she's a special, special child who has special blood and magic powers, but she hates everyone. Except for Venri. But Venri talks about Kilarian too much for her liking, so she automatically hates Key. And every time she's come up in character discussions and whatnot, I just hate her so much. She's just he talks about her all the time. I just can't understand why she's so important. She's just a waste of space. Like, that is her thinking. And it's bad.
Yep.
Key has some words for her, doesn't she?
No,
I love
Key
her.
literally. No, Key's. It's so sad. Key's response is literally just, "I know."
Oh.
You're right.
Good. That just is fueling her even more. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna open the floor now to any of you guys. Any words that you want to say to me, or about the campaign in general, or about things you're excited about, maybe other characters to experience or know, or anything like that, because we're going on almost an hour and a half of this podcast right now.
Love it.
One thing I am excited for is the NPC you play, Alana, like growing in the tower that she's currently in. I'm so excited to see her just like flourish in that environment.
She's so sweet. I love her so much.
Yeah, so
oh my god.
Alana is the sister of one of our characters and friends, Elliot. Their character's name is Comet. And they are an Air Genasi, which their sister is also an Air Genasi. She is like she's 17, but she kind of acts more like 15, 13 in that realm. But she's very quiet, and she talks like this a lot. And she's very smart and very polite, but she's trying to learn more, so she's going to be working under Castor, who is a very, very powerful wizard. I'm excited.
Okay, can I ask a question, Kelsey?
Yeah.
That I've always been curious about.
Yeah.
What is your process of finding voices for characters? Like, do you sit at home and like literally say, this is the name, this is what I want their voice to sound like? Or like, do you just go with what first comes to mind?
So what I normally do is most of my NPCs are based off of people I actually know.
Okay.
So I had a friend in middle school who was very smart and very good, but she was always very nervous to talk around, and she talked very lightly and quietly. I adore her. I miss her a lot, but you know, she talked like that a lot. So I take a lot of real life people I know, or I'll smash two people I know together to make the people. There are some that are directly from my mind, but voice-wise, I go off of their temperament.
That makes sense.
So, like Blue, he's royal, he's a little bit of a snob, so he's a little bit more higher up and a little bit more like, this is me, my name is Blue Hillshire, I can do no wrong, I'm perfectly fine how I am. And then you have Venry, who is a little bit lower, like this. And it's a little bit more snide, because you know, love, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Like, lower. And then you have the timid, soft-spoken, light-hearted Alana, who talks a little bit more like this. And then you have Garen, who, of course, strong-willed, strong, quiet type, so he has that very low, mistress, how can I help you? Like that. So, I kind of choose based off of the temperament and then people I know.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like Nathaniel, for instance. He's a little bit more Irish. He's a little bit more Irish like this, but that's perfectly alright, because he likes talking a little bit more faster. But he's a little bit more skittish and a little bit more unsure with how he's going to be reacting to things, because he's a little bit more all over the place, because his mind is like triggering and thinking all the time. So, you know, it's a little bit more different.
Oh, I love him so much. I can't wait to see him again.
It amuses
I hope
me
you
that
know.
you are so like in love with this character that like I'm sure Chelsea didn't even see it coming, and you're just like,
No,
I love him. I need him. Give it to me.
Yeah.
He didn't see it coming, and I know that because I just hit the group chat one day with a meme about Nathaniel, and she was like, "Where did this come from?" I fell in love with him the moment he appeared, and you like were talking with him. I was just like, "He's perfect."
Mm-hmm.
And then I missed the session after it, and I was heartbroken. And all I could think about was, "I'm never gonna see Nathaniel again."
Never say never with Chelsea, because you never know when things are gonna pop up.
Yeah, but to be fair, that was only like my third session.
Sometimes you may just end up having the dice be on your side, and things that even she doesn't expect to happen might, or at that current time, something might happen, you know.
You and your fucking... It's your bird dice, too. I'm blaming your freaking bird dice.
Uh-huh.
I think I need to steal those.
Nope.
I know where you live, Tasha.
I know where to find you.
Yeah, we can't get in. Ha ha. Security gate.
Crime exists.
But any other NPCs that you guys are curious about? I am curious in general. Like, not the main ones that you guys have met, but like side ones that maybe have kind of made you go, huh.
Okay, so in our
That
campaign,
Catwoman. Sorry,
Oh.
Sam.
You're good.
Oh, you go first. I'll explain this in a minute.
I'm actually. I want to know more about Zolas.
Oh, Zolas.
He's so interesting.
My
And
archfey.
then fucking key.
No!
Ruined it.
I
Jesus
mean,
Christ.
it's not really hard, you know. You could always just come say hi. Come by, Seigi. Maybe you can get me out.
Nope.
No?
We are avoiding
It's like a
key
fancy way to
entirely,
go in.
thanks. We're not gonna go across key at all.
Come on.
Nope.
I'm an archfey. I could definitely help you out.
I love him.
I like this man a lot. He's very charismatic.
Yeah.
Oh,
He is. And he's kind of evil, and Noctis dug that. I dug that.
Key kind of surrendered him to a god.
Yeah. So in Champions, basically, archfey
I feel that.
are supposed to be like the civil servants of gods in this world. So they're like almost kind of like an enslaved race because they were like created to be servants of the gods. Fun stuff.
And he turned him in.
Yep. Key
to
turn.
a god that she hates.
Yeah. True.
So...
But Kai, you were talking about the cat lady? Or cat guy? Who are you talking about?
The cat lady. You remember, it was the last session I was in before I disappeared for a bit.
Oh, the patched paw.
We had to go looking for her cat.
Oh, that. Okay, so that
So what
was
was-
an old lady. And so her fable is the crooked man with the crooked cat who walked a crooked mile, that one. So her husband is basically a ghost, and she's living in this house with millions of cats.
There are so many cats.
There's cats all, like, think of, like, cat lady. She's a cat lady.
But the thing is that one of them went missing, and I don't know how she noticed that one of them out of the, like, hundreds that were there went missing.
All of
But one of them went
her
missing.
babies.
She asked Thana and Karakir, because I think that was all we had at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
She asked Thana and Karakir to go find this cat. And they did. They found the cat. The cat had actually, like, found, like, a secondary home with this, like, child and their family. And Karakir and Thana were just like, oh, I don't want to take this cat away from this child who very clearly loves this cat.
Mm-hmm.
So we left it there. We went back to this old lady and we were just like, yeah, sorry, couldn't really find your cat.
No, you guys
might
told
have
her the
found
truth.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
You guys
we said,
you
oh, yeah,
found
no,
it, but you left it with another family.
because, you know, it was happy there, and isn't that the main thing that you'd want for one of your pets?
She was mad.
She freaked the fuck out. She was very mad.
Well, you just allowed her cat basically to be stolen by a child.
Oh, she was paying more attention to the cat.
She has millions of cats. Doesn't mean that they're not important to her any less.
Yeah, she just kind of freaked out on us, and I'm curious about her because that was fucking scary.
Yeah, so you guys basically got transported to, like, another dimension for a hot second because her husband, who's dead and a ghost, so he was like a spectral being, distorted the house so everything was crooked and, like, changed and everything. And he basically attacked them with his celestial cat.
Spectral powers.
Yeah, spectral cat powers. And it was fun. That was a fun one. I did enjoy that one.
You know what? I just hope they're okay and that they're enjoying all of their cats and that they replaced their cat. And that they didn't go after the child.
Honestly, she probably lost more cats. Just saying.
I would not be surprised.
Oh.
I hope more children found them.
Yeah. I mean,
agreed.
The same cat.
Yeah.
Same child. I mean.
So Fairy, I have a lot of small locations where you you guys can go that are fables in and of themselves. So, like the Patched Paw, which is an inn, is run by the Puss in Boots. I have basically Penny and Giuseppe, which is Pinocchio. I have, of course, the little old lady who lived in a shoe, who runs an inn with all of her millions and millions of kids, which you guys have met. And there's a few others of those running around in different locations, and I'm excited for you guys to, like, come across them and see if you guys can, like, connect the dots.
Do you have the gingerbread man?
I do have a variation of the gingerbread man.
Interesting.
Ooh. Speaking of the gingerbread man, I kind of think that Karakir ties into that fairy tale just because of how constantly they are running from things. And also because of what was said to them during the dream sequence that happened, where they were given said ultimatum.
Fun stuff, though, isn't it?
It's very fun.
I'm too concerned with the fact that Rai has 7 fables to think of what any of them could be.
But you have to remember that It's fables, myth, legends. I'm including Mother Goose into this. I'm including like smaller things too, and I'm smashing them all together to create you guys a beautiful plate just made for you.
It's perfect. I love it.
Makes me
I don't
laugh.
think I'm gonna ever figure all of them out, but I hope by the end of the campaign I have like an idea of at least one or.
I'm hoping you guys will. I know a few of you are like straight on, you know exactly what's going on. But some of you guys have been sending me ones that are like, "Do you think I think it's this?" And I'm like, "No." But it makes me happy. But I'm gonna end this podcast for now. So I'm gonna have everyone say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks for chatting with us. Again, I'm Chelsea. This is the Notorious Nook. And so next time we're probably just going to do another chit chat like we always do, which is always fun. And or you might see a new Let's Play, or you might see me reading something again in funny voices, or I might be talking about what this channel was supposed to be about, D&D. Who knows? But I'll see you guys later. Have a great night, and bye-bye.